And so we are still on the section on clear comprehension in the Satipatthana Sutta. So far in the last talk we have discussed the meaning of sampajanya, clear comprehension. So so three meanings. So first one is samma pajananto, to know correctly or rightly. So this means to know precisely, to discern nature of the nama rupa precisely. So so that means when you make effort to note so precisely that the mind is able to distinguish clearly each individual mental or physical nature that are present within the experience that are noted. So you're able to distinguish each of these mental or physical nature without mixing them up. So example we gave the other day. So rising, falling. You're not rising. So there's the physical nature, like pushing. So there's one nature. And mental nature, knowing, that's another nature. Sometimes your mind is really sensitive, you can feel there is another quality, physical sensitivity. So because of which you are able to pick up the nature of the pushing. Because there's sensitivity to the sensation. So sensitivity is another nature. So also the mind contacting with the object, the pushing. It's not just the knowing. The knowing is in touch with the object. So that's another nature. So then there's the feeling also. Sometimes the feeling may be prominent when you're not, especially if it's unpleasant feeling or pleasant feeling. So neutral feeling, not so much. Usually not clear. But usually when it's unpleasant or it's pleasant, it's very prominent. Then you may notice. So when you're not, you're able to pick up all this different nature when you're not rising. So you note one after another, after one noting after another noting. Each noting, you pick up one nature. So you're able to distinguish all this different mental, physical nature that is present in this experience of rising. So all these different nature are not mixed up together. Through clear knowledge, through clear comprehension, you are able to distinguish, tell apart all this different nature without mixing them up, without confusing them about as a person or being. So usually you do not discern clearly, they got mixed up all together. And then you begin to identify this, we call the compactness, as a person, as a being. So instead, you are able to note clearly and see clearly that the experience arising is just this mental, physical nature. So just nature, just Dhamma, just mental, physical nature. This is called samma pajananto. Knowing, we can say precisely. Okay? So that's one aspect of clear comprehension. Okay? So when you're noting and you're noting, there's precision, and when there's precision, you're able to tell apart all this different nature, mental, physical nature, and see clearly that the experience are just this mental, physical nature, nothing else. No person, no being, no self, no soul. That is Samma Pajananto, knowing precisely. And that's one aspect of clear comprehension. The second one is Samantato Pajananto, knowing completely, knowing thoroughly. So knowing in all its various aspects. Okay, so this means you discern the various nature or aspect of this nature, the mental physical phenomena. Okay, so in terms of their unique characteristic, so in terms of their this condition characteristic. Okay, so Sankata Lakkhana, Sabhava, the unique characteristic, and Sankata Lakkhana, the condition characteristic, arising, disappearing. And then finally, Samanya Lakkhana, the universal or common characteristic of impermanent suffering and non-self. So each mental, physical nature that you contemplate, that you know, you're able to discern them in these three aspects. There are unique characteristic. For example, pushing, that's one nature. Right? There's Sabbhava, there's a unique characteristic of the wind element, which is the nature of support. This pushing is the nature of support. Okay, that's a unique characteristic, the wind element. And then when you discern it clearly, you see this nature of pushing, arising and disappearing. That's Sankata Lakkhana. So you discern this again and again, arising, disappearing, one pushing, another, each one rising, disappearing. Then finally you come to discern how they are impermanent, they are suffering and non-self. That's the Samanya Lakkhana. So knowing these three aspects of Sabbhava, Sankata and Samanya Lakkhana, that is called Samantato Pajananto. Okay? Knowing completely, thoroughly, in every way, okay? In every aspect. And then the third meaning is Samam Pajananto, okay? Knowing by oneself. Okay? So this simply means that a yogi must make a personal effort in order to develop this clear comprehension and develop it continuously, so that the insight is able to reach deeper and deeper, become clearer and clearer, become more and more mature, so that you're able to reach a higher and higher distinction in clear knowledge, until the attainment of Maggaphala Jnana. Okay? So clear comprehension or insight are developed by oneself. Okay? Nobody can help you to develop this. So that's why meditation, you cannot gotong royong. So you cannot say, okay, let's work together. You do one part of the practice, I do another part, and then we combine together. Together we go to Nibbana. So that's why when you come for the retreat, you're on your own. You do your own practice, your friend will do their own practice. So that's why I say don't talk, don't interact. Each one of you focus on your own practice. So basically, clear comprehension means clear insight. In terms of practice, what we are trying to develop is this clear insight into nature of Nama Rupa as they arise within our experience in each moment. Okay? So each moment when you note, at that time, when you discern clearly the nature of the Nama Rupa, in terms of this, Sabhava, Sankata, and Samanya, Lakkhana, at that time, you have this quality of clear comprehension in the noting. So when the Buddha says Sampajana Karihoti, one applies or practice clear comprehension. So this simply means that one makes effort in order to discern clearly nature of Nama Rupa. Okay? So that means you make effort every moment when you note. Make sure that noting is always with clear comprehension. Okay? It's never noting is always never separated from clear comprehension. Okay? This requires effort in the beginning when you note. Every time you note rising, make effort so that rising is clear. Every time you note falling, make sure falling is clear. From beginning to the end is clear. Okay? Make effort so that the beginning is clear, the middle is clear, the end is clear. Okay? In the beginning, this is necessary. This effort is necessary. Okay? Once you have developed samadhi, then because of samadhi, it will become clear by itself every time you note. Okay? So by the beginning, when the mindfulness is not developed yet, concentration is not developed yet, so you have to make effort so that every time you note, make sure the mind is clearly in touch with the object. That's why you have to direct the mindfulness onto the object, so that the mind can clearly contact with the object. Then only the object will appear clearly. Okay? So once you have developed the power of mindfulness and concentration, then the mindfulness and concentration will do the work. Automatically, when you note, the mind is clearly in contact with the object. You will be able to discern it clearly. So we also discuss different kinds of clear comprehension. The first one, we mentioned there are four, right? So the first one is Sattaka Sampajanya, clear comprehension of what is beneficial. This means considering with a clear mind before doing anything. Considering clearly whether what you're about to do, is it beneficial? Is it helpful to the practice, to the growth in Dhamma? Okay? So will it bring about growth in the Dhamma, growth in the practice? It means growth in mindfulness, growth in concentration, growth in clear knowledge. Will it be helpful or not towards this end? Okay? Will it be helpful to development of sila, samadhi, and panya? Okay? So yogi have to consider. So And then second one is Sappaya Sampajanya, clear comprehension of suitability. It means considering with a clear mind whether it is suitable for the occasion or not. Even if it is beneficial, is helpful. But at that moment, is it suitable or not to do this? Okay? Yes. So before doing anything, yogi should always consider these two things, whether it's beneficial, whether it's suitable. Okay? And only proceed if both, if it is both beneficial as well as suitable. Okay. Yeah. So, but if you follow, come here, especially in a retreat, because you don't want to think so much, right? Because this is actually still a kind of thinking, even though it's thinking with a clear mind. So you come for a retreat, you just follow the schedule, and then you don't have to think so much. Follow the instruction, then you don't have to think so much. Because otherwise, every single thing that you do, I want to go and take a bath. Is it beneficial? Is it suitable? So, too much thinking. So, anyway, if you practice for some time already, so you're not a beginner yogi, you're a veteran yogi. So this will come naturally to you. You naturally know what is beneficial for the practice and what is not beneficial, and what is suitable or not suitable. So, especially if you have developed deep insight before, you know what is beneficial to bring about this state of deep insight, what is helpful and what is suitable. So you don't even have to think about it. Something happened, and if it's not beneficial, immediately the alarm sound. So you know, somewhat intuitively, you can say that this is not suitable. So it serves as a check, as a restraint before you go too far. So Sattaka Sampajanya, Sappaya Sampajanya. What is beneficial, what is suitable. Okay. So then the third one is Gochara Sampajanya. So clear comprehension of domain. So Gochara means domain or territory. So Gochara Sampajanya means remaining with clear comprehension, within the yogi's domain. Okay, so never leave this domain. Okay. Yeah. So even in the lay life also, in the worldly life, everybody have their own domain, their territory. Okay. So within your own territory, you are safe, you are protected, right? But if you stray outside your own domain, your territory, then you'll be exposed to all kinds of danger. So yogis also, you have your own domain, your own territory. Okay, so what is the yogi's domain? Last time I mentioned already. Nothing. Yeah. So it's the practice of the four satipatthana. That is the yogi's domain. So you make effort to stay within this domain of the practice of satipatthana. Okay? So this is illustrated in there's two suttas in the Satipatthana Samyutta, in Samyutta Nikaya. So one is Sakunagi Sutta. Okay? So the discourse on the simile of the hawk. Okay? So the second one is Makata Sutta. Okay? The discourse on the monkey. Okay? So maybe I'll read to you this sutta. So take the second one, the monkey. Simile of the monkey. So I just read the translation to you. Go through the Pali line by line. It's too long. So the Buddha began by giving this simile. It says, bhikkhus, in the Himalayas, the king of mountains, there are rugged and uneven zones where neither monkeys nor human beings can go. Okay? Then there are rugged and uneven zones where monkeys can go, but not human beings. Okay? And then there are even and delightful regions where both monkeys and human beings can go. Okay? So there means in the third place, in the third region, where both monkeys and human beings can go. There, along the monkey trails, so along where the monkeys usually pass. The monkey trail is usually not on the ground, it's on the treetops. Okay. So there along the monkey trails, hunters will set out traps of pitch for catching monkeys. So you know what is pitch? P-I-T-C-H. Pitch is this kind of very black substance which is very sticky. Pitch. So this hunter, they set up these traps. So kind of like a board, and then they apply this pitch, this sticky substance on it. Okay, and then they put some food that the monkey like onto the board. Okay, so when the monkey come and take the food, then they'll get stuck on the board. So this kind of trap. Okay. So along the trail, of course, the hunters they cannot climb up to the tree, so they put it down on the floor. The monkey very greedy. They see the food, they will come down, right? So, so the Buddha continued. He says, those monkeys who are not foolish and frivolous, when they see the pitch, they avoid it from afar. So these monkeys, they have some wisdom. So they know this is dangerous. They know this is a trap. So they avoid it from afar. That means they stay within their domain. So they stay up in the tree. They don't come down. So once they come down, that means it's straight away from their domain. Okay. So, but a monkey, one monkey who is foolish and frivolous, approaches the pitch and seizes it with his hand. He get caught there. Okay? Then thinking, I will free my hand. He seizes it with his other hand. He gets caught there as well. Now both hands get caught. Then thinking, I will free both hands. He seizes it with his foot. He get caught there as well. Then thinking, I will free both hands and my foot. he seizes it with his other foot, he get caught there. So now both his hands and both his feet are stuck. Okay? Then thinking, I will free both hands and feet. He applies his muzzle to it. So he uses his muzzle and go, ooh. And he get caught there as well. So now he's completely stuck. Cannot move anymore. Okay? So thus, because that monkey trapped at 5 points lies there screeching. He has met with calamity and disaster, and the hunter can do with him as he wishes. Okay? So because he strayed out of his domain into dangerous ground, so he get caught. So he met with calamity and disaster. So the hunter came and spears him, fastened him to that same block of wood, and goes off where he wants. So it is because when one strays outside one's own domain into the domain of others, so you fall into danger. Okay? So therefore, because do not stray outside your own resort into the domain of others. Okay? Mara will gain access to those who stray outside their own resort into the domain of others. Mara will get a hold on them. Okay? Yeah. And what is not a bhikkhu's own resort, but the domain of others? It is the 5 kinds of sensual pleasures. Okay? What are the 5? So the visible form, cognizable by the eye, that are desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, sensually enticing, tantalizing. So similarly, sounds that are cognizable by the ear, odors that are cognizable by the nose, tastes that are cognizable by the tongue, and tactile sensation, tactile objects cognizable by the body, that are desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, sensually enticing, tantalizing. These are the 5 kinds of sensual pleasures. This is what is not a bhikkhu's own resort, but the domain of others. So move in your own resort, bhikkhus, in your own ancestral domain. Okay? Mara will not gain access to those who move in their own resort, in their own ancestral domain. Mara will not get a hold on them. Okay? So, and what is a bhikkhu's resort? His own ancestral domain. It is the 4 satipatthana. The 4 practice of the 4 satipatthana, the 4 establishment of mindfulness. And what are the 4? Here a bhikkhu dwells contemplating the body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, overcoming covetousness and grief with regards to the world. He dwells contemplating feeling in feelings, consciousness in consciousness, Dhamma in Dhammas, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, overcoming covetousness and grief with regards to the world. So this is a bhikkhu's resort, his own ancestral domain. So a bhikkhu or yogi should remain within this domain of the 4 satipatthana and not stray outside of this domain of the 4 satipatthana. Okay? So So gochara sampajanya, clear comprehension of domain, means to always, to continuously practice satipatthana. So this means what? Anupassana. Remember Anupassana? So continuous noting, right? So you note moment after moment after moment, relentlessly, continuously, relentlessly, without a break. You note every time you note precisely, body in the body, feeling in feelings, and so on. Okay? Every time you note with ardent, energetic effort, with mindfulness, with clear comprehension. So putting away, purifying the mind of covetousness and grief. Okay? So continuous noting. So clear comprehension of domain means continuous noting. As long as the yogi is continuously noting according to the method of satipatthana, so he or she remains within the yogi's domain. Okay, so you remain within this domain. The mind is safe, is secure, free from the danger of the mental defilements. Mental defilements have no opportunity to arise if you continuously remain within this domain. Okay? However, the moment you stop noting, the moment there's a lapse in mindfulness, a lapse in the noting, so even for a single moment, you fall outside this domain. Okay, so for example, so when a yogi and then after a while he stopped for a while and start to think about this object or experience that is noting. Start to become curious. What is this? Why is this? How is this? So then you start to stray. So you fall outside of the domain. Okay, so and you may even stray too far outside, directly into Mara's hand. So then you'll be exposed to the danger of the mental defilements. For example, a yogi starts delighting in all the pleasant experience that arise from meditation. Pleasant experience that comes from samadhi or jnana. So how wonderful is this state of concentration. How delightful, so clear, this mind. So you start to delight in it, start to enjoy it. Even fall into a delusion, oh, I am such a good yogi, I'm a super yogi. So the I is there. So, my insight is so clear. My meditation is so wonderful. So the mind. So the I and my atta and attaniya is there. So this shows you have fallen outside of the domain of the yogi. Okay, instead of noting continuously, discerning clearly the nature, so you stray outside and then you fall into the trap of Mara. So one hand you put on delighting. So the other hand can be on dosa. And one lobha, and the other one dosa. Dosa is when you start rejecting the unpleasant experience that arise become sad or depressed or dejected due to the pain and due to the dukkha jnana that arise. Why so much pain, so much suffering? Why is it so oppressive? I'm in such pain. I'm a terrible yogi. So, so my mind is in pain. So you get caught by dosa. So there's like a monkey. Both hands get caught on the pitch of the kilesa. And delusion also. So the attaniya. Okay? So you start to imagine things that are not there, become deluded, that there is a self, something belonging to a self. So again you get caught. Okay? So this is called falling outside the territory. So if you remain within the territory, means you're noting continuously, no matter what. You do not stop the noting. Moment after moment after moment, you note. Okay? Pleasant, you note. Unpleasant, you note. Whatever object, you note. So you do not stop the noting. Okay? So when you do not stop the noting, there's no opportunity for this kilesa mara to arise. So no opportunity for greed, hatred, delusion to arise in that moment. Okay? So you stay within your domain, your territory. So gochara sampajanya simply means you make effort to remain with clear comprehension within this domain of the four satipatthana. Okay? That's why we say vipassana meditation in a retreat. It means that you meditate continuously throughout the day. Okay? From the first moment you wake up in the morning, until you fall asleep at night. Nothing is supposed to go on. You are supposed to remain within this domain of satipatthana. You have to make effort in this way, so that moment after moment after moment, you do not stray outside. You remain within. Okay? The only time you leave the domain is when you're sleeping. Then you have no choice. You cannot be mindful when you are sleeping. Although actually, according to Dhamma, even when you're sleeping in bhavanga citta, also there is mindfulness. But that is more the vipaka, is a result of the past karma. Okay? There's a natural mindfulness in bhavanga. And that's why it says human beings, I think Bhante Sujiva mentioned this before, human beings have this natural ability. There's not his exact word, I can't remember what he said exactly, but something like human beings have this natural ability to be mindful. Because of bhavanga. So, but unless your bhavanga is the investigation consciousness now, which is without root, that one without mindfulness. But if your bhavanga is one of the 8 mahavipaka, then it's with the mindfulness. It's associated with mindfulness. Okay? And most human beings, the bhavanga is one of these 8. Okay? So those who are born with the investigation consciousness as their bhavanga, they are usually born with some congenital defects. They are born blind, or born deaf, and so on. Okay? So most people are not this, right? Especially yogis, you come here, you have this affinity to vipassana meditation. So definitely your bhavanga is one of the 8 mahavipaka. In fact, your bhavanga should be one of the 4 that is associated with wisdom. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the wisdom to draw close to the practice. So if your bhavanga is one of this, then you have this natural mindfulness in your bhavanga. So bhavanga is like a base of our existence. We are born with it. Patisandhi citta is like a bhavanga. Okay, so when there's no active thought process like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, or the thinking, the thought process, our mind goes back to bhavanga. So it's like a base consciousness. So it goes back to that state. So when we go to sleep, our mind goes back to this basic state of consciousness. Okay? So then as and when the object impinges on any one of the 6 sense doors, then the flow of bhavanga is interrupted, and then the thought process occurs. So after that, again, it goes back to bhavanga. So if you have bhavanga, there is mindfulness. So you have this natural ability to be mindful. It's there already as part of your basic mental makeup. So that's why I say everybody can be mindful. Whether you want to be mindful or not, whether you put in the effort or not. Everybody have this ability to be mindful. There's no excuse not to be mindful. And you may ask, how come if I'm mindful if I have mindfulness when I'm asleep, then I do not know anything? This is a question that only the Abhidhamma student may understand because of the object of bhavanga. Object of bhavanga is so subtle. Also, bhavanga citta itself is very subtle because it's vipaka citta. All vipaka cittas, they are subtle. They are peaceful and subtle. So the consciousness itself is subtle. The object of bhavanga is also very subtle. So when they occur, it's as if you do not know anything. So, but there is some mindfulness there. Okay, so but it's not prominent. That's why you cannot discern it, which is a good thing. Yeah. Otherwise, if the object of bhavanga is prominent, if bhavanga citta is prominent, you'll not be able to sleep. Yeah. So it's because it's so subtle, then you can fall into this sleep. Otherwise, you have to experience it again and again. You know what the object of bhavanga is connected with the karma. The karma that brings about this present life. So as a human being, of course, you will be good karma. So if you can discern this object, you may be discerning something like in the past you do dana. So or you see the maybe the food or the ropes that you offer. So that means when you're sleeping, you keep seeing that the ropes or the food or the act of dana. So maybe one night, 2 nights is okay. Every night, every single day of your life, every time you sleep, you see this. Goodness. So it's a good thing that it's so subtle you cannot discern it. So anyway, digression to Abhidhamma. Okay, so you don't understand this is okay, because you need some Abhidhamma knowledge to understand what I just said. Okay. So, okay, so to illustrate this Gochara Sampajanya, clear comprehension of domain, the commentary talks about the 4 kinds of bhikkhus, 4 kinds of monks. Okay. So it says, Ida ekacho bhikkhu harati na pachaharati. Ekacho na harati pachaharati. Ekacho neva harati na pachaharati. Ekacho harati cha pachaharati cha. So this means here one bhikkhu, he brings it with him, but he does not brings it back. So what this means is that when he go for alms round, he brings his meditation with him. That means it's noting. So, but he does not brings it back. He brings it. When he go for alms round, he go with mindfulness, with meditation. But when he returns, he forgot to bring it back. He left it there. So this is a bhikkhu who brings it with him, but does not bring it back. Then ekacho naharati pachaharati. Then another bhikkhu, he does not brings it with him, but he brings it back. So when he go for alms round, he did not bring his meditation with him. But when he returns, he remembered to bring it back. Then ekacho neva harati na pachaharati. Then this is the worst kind of bhikkhu. He neither brings it with him, nor does it bring it back. And then the 4th one is the best. So harati cha pachaharati cha. So he brings it with him and he brings it back. Okay? So, yeah. So this is the practice. This is actually, according to the commentaries, a very ancient practice that the bhikkhus do. Okay, each time they go for alms round. Okay, so and as will be the example to be described later will show clearly that this does not mean only during the time when you go for alms round, but throughout the day, whether he continuously brings with him the meditation subject or not. Okay, so not only when you go for alms round and when he returns, but also throughout the day. Okay, so now the commentary speaks in terms of the bhikkhus, the monks. Okay, so for lay yogis, what is the equivalent? What is your alms round? A dining hall. When you go for your meals, so do you bring your meditation with you? You go with nothing. So, and while you're eating, or not only eating, when you're doing the chanting, when you take your food in the in the queue, when you bring your food to the table, when you sit down, when you eat, then after that, after you eat, when you get up, you bring your tray, you walk to the sink, wash it, put it back, and so on. And then after that, returning to your room. So do you bring your meditation, the mindfulness, noting with you or not? So this is how the yogis in ancient times practice. Okay, so talk about the first kind of bhikkhu, the one who brings it with him on his arms round, but didn't bring it back. Okay, so so the commentary gives this example of this bhikkhu. So he spends his entire day meditating, okay, purifying the mind of the obstructive states, means the hindrances. So meditating by walking and sitting. So that means throughout the day, you do walking meditation, sitting meditation, meditate continuously, alternate between walking, sitting, throughout the day. So every moment he notes, continuously he notes, purifying the mind from the hindrances. Okay? So in the case of the yogis here, that's also what you are doing. So throughout the day, you're meditating, walking, sitting, purifying your mind each moment when you note from the hindrances. Okay? So throughout the day, this bhikkhu, he meditates. And likewise, in the first watch of the night, okay? That means from 7 to 11 p.m. Again, he meditates in this way. Walking, sitting, continuously purifying his mind. Okay? Noting continuously. Okay? Second watch of the night, from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., he rests, he sleeps. Okay? Third watch of the night, he wakes up. And throughout the third watch, it means from 3 to 7 a.m., he meditates. He meditates continuously, walking, sitting, purifying his mind from the hindrances. Okay? Then morning come, 7 p.m., 7 a.m. So there's light already. So early in the morning, okay, after he's meditated, early in the morning he begins to perform the various duties around the monastery. So sweeping the monastery compound, sweeping around the chetya, the pagoda, and the Bodhi tree. So in ancient Sri Lanka, even today, the monastery in Sri Lanka, they always have a chetya and a Bodhi tree. So it's the duties of the bhikkhu to sweep around the chetya and the Bodhi tree every day, every morning. And so this bhikkhu, when the night is over, early in the morning, he begins to perform these duties of sweeping and also filling up the water pots around the monastery, water pots for drinking and for washing. So in the old days, they do not have water tap like we do. So instead, they have all these water pots all around the monastery. So every morning you need to fill it up again. Okay? So they use it for drinking. Some are for drinking. Some are for washing. You go to Burma today, there are still in the monastery these pots around the centers monastery for drinking. But I advise you go there, don't drink from it. Because they have a cup there, and this cup is shared by the whole monastery. So usually our stomach is not strong enough to take it. The Burmese, they can take it. So, so they have to fill up the water pots. And then after that, they have to go. So this bhikkhu, after that, they have to go and do duties. Their duties towards the preceptor and their teachers. So they have to go and attend to their preceptor or their teachers who may need them in the morning, okay, to do various kind of things. Okay? So this is according to the Vinaya. Okay? Then also he has to attend to his own bodily needs, washing his face and so on. Okay? So he does all this, this bhikkhu, he does all these duties with mindfulness intact. So he does not leave his meditation aside while doing his duties. He continues to note. Okay? Yeah, same also, yogis here, in the morning when you do sweeping, cleaning your rooms and so on, the meditation hall. So you're supposed to note. Okay? Not quickly chinchai sweep without mindfulness, so that you can quickly go back to your meditation. That is your meditation. Okay? At that point in time, that is your meditation. Okay? So after he has done all these duties, then if it is not yet time to go for alms round, then he will return to his quarters, to his room, in order to continue meditation until the time comes for alms round. Okay? So when the time comes, then he take his robe and his bowl, and with still holding on to his meditation. Commentary says, with meditation foremost in his mind, uppermost in his mind, he continue. Okay, and before he go for alms round, he will worship at the pagoda and the Bodhi tree. And even as he do this, he does not give up his meditation. He continue to note. Okay? Although actually according to the commentary, so when he is paying homage, paying respect at the Chaitya and the Bodhi tree, he should leave aside his usual meditation subject and take up the Buddha Nusati as his meditation subject, and reflect on the virtues of the Buddha as he is paying homage at the pagoda and at the Bodhi tree. Then after, so when he pay homage, he circumambulate the pagoda. So he keeps in mind the virtues of the Buddha. Okay? So then after he has done his puja, then he picks up again his usual meditation subject. Okay? So in the case of the yogis here, it is satipatthana. So after that, without relinquishing the meditation, he put on his robes, and then he enter a village with mindfulness, with his meditation. Okay? Yeah. I think it's easier if I read to you directly instead of. So once he's entered the village, so there people, after seeing the bhikkhu, they say, "Oh, our Bante has come. Bante lai liao." So having gone forward to meet the bhikkhu, so they go forward to meet him. So when they see him from afar, quickly they rush to him. Then they take his bowl and then lead him into the either the sitting hall, asana sala. And so in ancient Sri Lanka, in every village, there is a place called a sitting hall, where it's a place that is set up for bhikkhus to have their meals. So there's not chairs, they don't have chairs, but sitting places set up for the bhikkhus to sit to have their meals. They are like a hall where the meals are served to the bhikkhus in the village. So they lead this bhikkhu to this sitting hall, or they may lead him into their house, okay? And then have him seated down, and then they will offer him this rice gruel, rice gruel, Gruel. So it's like when you cook the rice, there's the watery part of it, the rice gruel. So monks used to drink this before they have their main meal. Because it takes time for a lay devotee to cook the meal. So while they're waiting, they take this first, the rice gruel. It's said to be very healthy. So it has got many health benefits. So they offer him the rice gruel, and then you see here they show you how in the ancient times, and actually even today in Sri Lanka, in many parts of Sri Lanka, that's how they still practice this. The lay devotees, when they see the monk, so thereafter they wash and then anoint his feet. So when you go to Sri Lanka, sometimes you go before you enter their house. So if let's say, because monks go on alms round barefooted, right? So before they enter their house, outside of the house, they will pour water for you on their feet for you to wash. And then after that, you step on a piece of cloth, and then they will wipe your feet. Yes, they still do that today. So here it says anoint his feet. Anoint you mean like you rub oil on his feet. So especially if the monk have to walk very far distance. So according to some of my friends, the monks in Sri Lanka, one of them, they have to walk many hours. One of the senior monk that I know, they walk 3 hours. He live in a very secluded forest. So each time, every day he go for alms round, they walk for 3 hours. So by the time he reach there, the feet is all sore already. So he have to massage it for you. So they wash, and so till the rice is ready, because they are still cooking the rice at that time. So till the rice is ready, they sit in front of him, and then they start to ask him questions, or he become desirous of listening to talk on the Dhamma from him. So this is what you should do when you meet a monk. You should ask him a question about the Dhamma, discuss Dhamma with him, or request him to give a Dhamma talk. So this is what you're supposed to do when you meet a monk. Don't meet a monk and then start talking to him about all the worldly things. Although this is usually what happens in Malaysia nowadays. So, that's the time when you get an opportunity to learn the Dhamma, to clear any doubts that you have about the Dhamma, things that you do not understand. So you can discuss the Dhamma. And some people will request for a Dhamma talk. And it is said that even if the people do not ask him to speak to them on the Dhamma, The commentators, that means the ancient commentarial teachers, says that a talk on the Dhamma should be given to the people in order to help them. So the bhikkhu should expound the Dhamma for the purpose of assisting the folk with the grace of the Dhamma, thinking, if I do not expound the Dhamma to them, who will? Excuse me. Then it is said, there is no Dhamma talk separate from the thought of meditation. So this means even as he's speaking on the Dhamma, he still have not given up his meditation. So he's still noting, you see. So especially if you give a talk on meditation. Yes, sometimes when you give talk on meditation, because when you are talking about meditation Dhamma, you're reflecting on the meaning also. And when the meaning appear to you, you yourself as a Dhamma speaker can be uplifted, can inspired by the meaning. And then right there, the meditation mind can arise. You see. So there's no Dhamma thought separate from the thought of meditation. So up to this point, he's still mindful. Our bhikkhu is still having this mindfulness with him. He's still noting. And therefore, after expounding the Dhamma, even with the thought of meditation uppermost in mind, and after partaking, after eating the food, with just the thought of meditation uppermost in mind, he leaves the village, followed by the people who, in spite of his requesting them to stop accompanying him, they continue to follow him. So this shows that this bhikkhu, or these monks that the commentary is referring to, is a very senior monk. Otherwise, the villager will not show such respect, going out of their way to meet him, lead him into their house, wash his food, even massage it, and so on. If you're a junior monk, you just go collect the food and go. So he's a very senior monk. So there, after turning back those who followed him, he takes the road to his dwelling place. Then the novices, samaneras, and young bhikkhus who had taken their meal outside the village and having left the village earlier than this bhikkhu, when they see this bhikkhu coming, so they go forward to meet him, to take his bow and his robe. So this shows he's a very senior bhikkhu. Okay? Then those samaneras and young bhikkhus question the elder. So they ask, Bhante, who are these people to you? And who are these devotees to you? Are they your relatives on your mother's side or your relative on your father's side? So this elder, this Thera, asked them, what makes you ask this question? So he said, having seen what do you ask this question? So they reply, we see the affection and respect for you. So then he said, he told them, friends. That's what senior monk call a junior monk. Friends, awuso, friends. What even our parents find it hard to do, these people do for us. Our very robes and bowls are just due to them. Okay, so we got it from them. Right? Owing to these people, we know no fear on occasion of fear. and know no lack of food on occasion of famine. Okay? So there are no people so helpful to us as these folks. Okay? So in this way, he praised them. So in the commentary says, speaking well of these people thus, he goes. And this is where he loses his mindfulness. So when he starts speaking in praise of them, he went on and on and on. So it seems that commentary is as if saying he overdo it. He goes on. It means he goes on and on and on. And this is at this point he loses his mindfulness. And then he says, this bhikkhu is spoken as a person who brings meditation with him, takes it along with him when he leaves his dwelling, but does not return with the thought of meditation. He leaves it before he reach his dwelling place. So this is the first kind of bhikkhu. Okay. So for the second type of bhikkhu, it says, I just read directly from this translation. But there is one who is frequently ill, sick. So the food he has eaten is not properly digested by early morning. So he arose very early, but is unable to carry out the aforementioned duties. Okay, so all the duties that we mentioned earlier, sweeping the place, filling up the water pots, and so on. So because he's hungry, so he cannot carry out these duties, nor pay attention to his subject of meditation. Okay? So because he's hungry, he cannot meditate. So rather, being desirous of rice gruel or medicine, he takes his bowl and robes and enters the village very early. Okay? He went earlier than the other monks. Okay? So there, after receiving rice gruel, medicine or boiled rice, he finished his meal. Then, being seated on a prepared seat, he pays attention to his subject of meditation. So when he go to the village for alms, he couldn't meditate because he's hungry. But after having eaten, then he has satisfied his hunger. Then he can start meditating. So seated on the prepared seat, he pays attention to his subject of meditation. And whether he attains distinction in meditative attainment or not, he comes back to the monastery and dwells with that same attention to his subject of meditation. Okay? This one is called one who brings back, but does not brings it along. Okay? So he brings the meditation back, but he did not bring it with him when he went for his alms round. And it says, and such bhikkhus as this, who, after drinking rice gruel, has aroused insight and attained arahantship in the sasana of the Buddha, is beyond reckoning. In the island of Sri Lanka alone, there is no seat in the sitting hall of the various villages where there is no bhikkhu who have attained arahantship after drinking rice gruel. So at that time, in ancient times, at that time, because every village have this sitting hall, right? And there are many seats in the sitting hall for the bhikkhus to sit and to eat their meals. So he said here, there's not a single seat in the whole of Sri Lanka, in all these various halls. There's not a single seat where a bhikkhu have not seated down and attained arahantship while drinking the rice gruel. So attainment of arahantship is very common in those days. Okay. Nowadays, I do not know how the chairs in our dining hall. How many chairs have yogis seated down and attain arahantship? Maybe inside have lah. Inside have. Maybe possibly even the first path. So, but arahantship. Then the third one, but there is one who dwells negligently, who have put aside the burden of meditation, who, having neglected all the duties, dwells with his mind shackled by the fivefold mental stumbling blocks and bondages. So the five mental stumbling blocks, Ceto, Kila, they are the doubts concerning the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, doubts concerning the training, and also anger towards one's companion or fellows in the holy life. Okay, that means your fellow yogis. So if you have anger towards your fellow yogis, it is called Ceto Kila, a stumbling block. And often this happens in a meditation center. Yeah, so many times it happens. Remember, next time if you have anger towards your fellow yogis, this is a stumbling block to the practice. Then the five mental bondages, Vinibandha, the lust after sensual pleasures, lust after one's own body, lust after the body of others, overeating, eating too much, and then indulging in the pleasure of sleep, and living the holy life, aspiring to be reborn in the Deva world. So these are called mental bondages. Yeah. So when you meditate, aspire for Nibbana, not to be reborn in the Deva world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this bhikkhu, his mind shackled by the five mental stumbling blocks and bondages, mental bondages. So without engaging his attention on his subject of meditation, he enters the village for alms, and having lingered there, impeded by the impediments of householders. Okay, so having collected his alms, food, even after eating, he does not come back. He lingers in the village. So behaving as if like a householder. Okay. Then after that he departs empty. So that means he come back without his mindfulness, his meditation. This one is called one who neither brings it along nor brings it back. Okay. But the fourth person, the fourth bhikkhu, this one very long. So basically, I won't read from the commentary because it's very, very long. So, but basically, he is one who carries out. So whole day through he meditates, even through the night he meditates. Okay, except for the second watch he meditates. So in the morning he carries out all his duties with mindfulness, with meditation, and then when he goes for his alms round, he goes with meditation intact. When he returns back to the monastery, he also returns with mindfulness, with his meditation intact, and then he continues to meditate throughout the day. Okay, so this is one who both brings it with him and then brings it back. Okay, yeah. So as a yogi, you must emulate this last one. So throughout the day, you must meditate continuously, walking, sitting, walking, sitting. Only rest from 11 to 3, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So Then after that, you continue meditating. Then when you go and meet Sister Sam in the dining hall, you go with mindfulness. When you see Sister Sam, you're just not seeing. You don't even know that you're seeing Sister Sam. That's the best. Then when you eat, when you do your chanting, when you eat, when you get up, when you wash, when you return to your room, all with mindfulness, with nothing. Then after that, you continue your practice throughout the day. That's how you must practice. This clear comprehension of domain, you remain within your domain. You do not stray outside your domain. And your domain is the four satipatthana. Okay, so we stop here today. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipatiya Buddham Pujemi. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhammam Pujemi. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipatiya Sangham Pujemi. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipatiya Mata Pitunam Pujemi. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipatiya Acariyanam Pujemi. Adha imaya Patipadaya Jaram Maranamha Primochesami. Idame punyam asavakaya vaham hotu. Idame punyam nibbanasa pacayo hotu. Idame silam magaphalanyanasa pacayo hotu. Imam no punya bhagam sabbasatanam dema. Imam no punya bhagam sabbasatanam dema. Imam no punya bhagam sabbasatanam dema. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So may all of you be well, happy and peaceful always. May all of you always be healthy, be safe, be strong. Okay? So may all of you be able to continuously practice the Dhamma without any obstacle, without any troubles. May your practice always be smooth. And soon may all of you be able to experience the unconditioned peace of Nibbana through the practice of Dhamma.